Hi friends, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. I am here with another What Sold This Week video for you. I do not have any What Sold on Whatnot today because I actually canceled my Whatnot show yesterday. So all I have is what I sold on my other platforms, which for this week are going to be Etsy and eBay, Depop, and not really Mercari, but we'll talk about it a little bit, and Poshmark. So I'm going to get into showing you what all I sold. It's very exciting. Let's see, we had a pretty nice week. And by we, I mean me. So the first thing that I sold was this Pyrex bowl. So this is part of the Pyrex opal series, and this is a true opal. So these bowls are best noted by the fact that they have 0 stamps on the bottom. And in fact, I can show you. This is what the bottom of the bowls look like. They're usually just very plain and flat. These came in a set of 4 or 3, but there were 4 of them altogether. And the typical Pyrex bowl size is 401, 402, 403, 404. So I sold the 404 for $59, including shipping. I'm sorry, I did not sell for $59. That's what I had it listed as. The buyer used a 20% off coupon, which, as we've talked about before, is very common for me with Etsy. They used they get sent a coupon if they favorite an item or like abandon their cart. And so that brought the item down to $47.20. It cost me $8.67 to ship it. So my total from that was $38.53. I guess it was going somewhere local because that's pretty cheap for shipping. So good. I don't remember where it was going, probably Pennsylvania or something. My second sale was another Pyrex bowl. This actually sold on eBay, which is interesting to me that they both sold the same day, but not to the same people and on 2 different platforms. This sold for $29. It was the smallest size, the 401, and it sold for $29, which I think I just said. eBay buyers pay for shipping, so you know, just $29 is what I made from that. Obviously, I'm not talking about any fees or anything. All I'm talking about today are any discounts, best offers, etc., and what my shipping costs were. So next, I'm going to another eBay sale. This is a dress that I had listed, as you can see, for $39. The buyer, I don't remember if I think they sent me an offer for $25, and I accepted it. This dress is really cute, but it did seem to be like a handmade dress, and it was super tiny. So I accepted an offer for that. I made 25 bucks on that. Next, I have my Etsy. I sold this adorable bandana. So you can see it's got this older, marking on it, the guaranteed fast color. It's a cute little bandana. This is I don't want to say a standard one, but it's a more common vintage bandana, but it's adorable. $24 was what I had it listed at. The buyer used a 20% off coupon, so it came to $19.20. Shipping cost me $4.33, and so I made $14.87 on that. As you can see, bandanas are not necessarily a big money maker for me, but for some reason I keep buying them. I don't know. I really like them. I don't know. Anyway, next is this plate. Why is everything not lined up the way I had it lined up? Sorry. This Fiesta ware plate. This came from the Hoarder House glassware set, collection, edition, whatever. So I had this Fiesta ware luncheon plate. I had this listed for $30, including shipping. There were no coupons or anything used. This was going to like California or Oregon or something. I can't remember. So of course, shipping was $12.58. It could have been a little bit lower. I think that ground shipping, I did this in the Ship With Me video recently. Ground shipping would have been about $10, but I would have had to really like cut the box down and everything. So I just paid the extra like $2.50 and sent it priority because the box worked out better for me. So after shipping, I made $17.42 on that one. My next sale, this was on eBay. This was another pair of panties. It was a very good panty week. I've been finding a lot of panties lately. Like that's not like, I do love finding vintage panties, and you can probably see why, but this is not like normal. I just happened to come across a whole bunch recently, but this is not normally like, I don't normally find this many panties. So, but pick them up when you find them because they can be good. So these are vintage Christian Dior, like 80s era. I had these listed for $39, and they sold at full price. So buyer paid the shipping. So I just made $39 on those. That was great. Next up is, surprise, more panties. These are on Poshmark. So there are two pairs, this pair and then this pair. So you can see they're both listed for $29 each. But on Poshmark, I feel like things very rarely sell for full price on Poshmark at all. These were put into a bundle. The buyer bundled both of these together, which is like a feature that Poshmark has where it's kind of like an add to cart, but it bundles them. And I have my Poshmark set up so that the bundle automatically gives you 15% off if you have two or more items in there. And so they don't even have to send an offer or anything. It just gives them 15% off if they purchase the bundle. So this buyer did that. So the total amount they were listed for was $58 combined. 15% off of that brought them down to $49.30. And of course, Poshmark, you don't actually like whatever. I happen to know that after fees, I made $39.44 on this because Poshmark just tells you straight out how much it is after fees. They make it very uncomplicated. So I did not have to calculate that for you. And I did not pay any shipping on this or give any kind of shipping discount. So the buyer paid the shipping on that. My next sale was on Etsy, and again, does not want to be centered. This is a vintage slip that I sold. I believe that I hand dyed this. Oh, look, you can see my weird little socks in the photo. That's so cute. Down here, I totally would have expected to have cropped those out. Sometimes my feet are cold. Okay, anyway, this was $39. There was no coupon used. Shipping was $4.41. So I made $34.59 on this slip. I probably didn't pay much for it. I may even have gotten it as part of like some giant haul. I don't think I would have bought that at a thrift store. So I probably got it in some sort of estate sale haul or something. And I do remember that I dyed that. So it was like some weird beige color before that. All right, next up is another pair of panties on eBay. You will see that these say $79. That's not how much I sold them for. Somebody sent me an offer of $40, which I accepted. So these, I had found an identical pair that did sell for like 75, something in that vicinity. These had been posted for about a week. And so I took the offer of $40. Oh, look, we all know in my timeline, a week is nothing. But with these Y2K Victoria's Secret panties, when I listed them, there were a bunch that were like immediately pow, 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 pow. And I was getting like multiple people messaging me about specific pairs. And so I knew like that didn't happen with this one. So I figured that, you know, even though this identical pair had sold at a similar price recently, I think in the past 90 days, you know, it clearly wasn't like one of those that like people are jumping all over instantaneously. So I just took 40 bucks, which is still amazing. So that was great. And I did not pay shipping. So I made $40 on that. Next up is this pair of nylons. And these are really cool. As you can see, they're neon green. These did come from the estate sale where I got all the bajillions of pairs of nylons. These are a little bit less desirable because the nylons that people really go nuts for are the older, like 50s nylons that don't have any stretch or anything. They're called fully fashioned. And so they kind of fit you, you know, pretty precisely. These are just like stretchy stockings, but they're still really cool. The color was fantastic, obviously. So I had these listed for $39. I lost my spot. There we go. I had them listed for $39 and I took a best offer of $25. I've had these listed for a while. So, and you know, sometimes with stuff like this, it's kind of a shot in the dark when I'm pricing things. So, you know, I did do research when trying to price it. So I'm sure that the $39 kind of came from something, but 25 was great. And I've, you know, I still have an insane amount of nylons that I need to work through. So, so that was a nice little sale. Next are more panties on eBay. So these are good ones to look out for. These are Victoria's Secret. They're vintage, like 90s era. These are cotton panties, and these have this elastic waistband here, right, with the Victoria's Secret like stitched into it. And this is a wider waistband. So these are called the signature waist. This particular style of panty is the Rio, which I just kind of know. Sometimes on the tag of the panty, I'll show you this tag. So you can see here, it says high cut, but there are others that have also said Rio in the past, and I just happen to know that style of panty, so that's why I use that. But also when you find stuff like this and you're researching it, you'll see that come up in your comps. So this particular pair I listed at $59 and it sold for $59. The buyer paid the shipping, so that was great. And let's see, next is another pair of panties also on eBay. These are also vintage Victoria's Secret, more Y2K era. These sold for $29, right? Buyer paid the shipping, so I made $29. Next, more panties. Sorry, like I said, this is not normal, but it's fun. This is another pair. This sold to a buyer on Poshmark for full price at $29. So after fees, that I made $23.20 on that. So let's see. Okay, next up is a little order I got on Etsy. This is a little set of 3, I call them handkerchiefs. They might be cocktail napkins. They were pretty small, about that big. And so I have them listed as a set of 3. And I listed these like a really long time ago. But when I sold them, I knew I had a 4th one sitting around. After I had gotten these all nice and listed, at some point I found the 4th one. And it was like in my hoard pile. And I kept telling myself that, someday I was going to go and like steam it and rephotograph the whole set, which would also kind of mean re-steaming the whole set because I have everything folded into quarters. Rephotograph it, relist it, yada, yada, yada. And obviously that did not happen. So when this person bought this set, I went and dug out the 4th one and just stuck it in there. I steamed it and folded it pretty and then stuck it in there. And so they received a set of 4 instead of 3. This was listed for $19. They did not use a coupon. The shipping was $4.25. And so these made me $14.75. So that was cute. Let's see. All right, next on Etsy, I sold another pair of these barrettes. I don't know what it is with these barrettes. I have other like hair clips. I don't know why these keep selling, but yay. This one, there's so like barely any money on these, but I had them listed for 10. The buyer used a coupon, so they sold for 8, which includes shipping. Shipping cost me $4.25. So I made $3.75 on these barrettes. Not a lot, but again, it's kind of just this listing that keeps renewing and selling itself. I don't do any more work. I did the listing once and, I had like a bajillion pairs of barrettes. So it's been selling for a long time. And that's nice. All right, next up. Oh, so on Mercari, I remember I told you last week that I had my first Mercari sale. It was a pair of panties. I did not bring the graphic up for you. Well, the buyer messaged me when he got them and said, "You sent me the wrong thing." And I immediately was like, "What did I send you?" And as I was waiting for the reply, I went and looked at the inventory number that I had assigned to those, looked in the box, and lo and behold, yep, I don't know what I sent you, but this is what you ordered. So you are correct. I sent you the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. Now, because this was my first sale on Mercari, I was not super familiar with the way Mercari works. I mean, I knew I had learned in the past, but like I didn't have that information in context. So initially I was like, what, I'm just going to mail these out to you. And then a friend of mine reminded me like, no, Mercari gives the buyer 3 days to accept the sale. If they accept the sale or they never do anything and don't accept it and 3 days goes by, then your money is released to you. But they have those 3 days to raise an issue. And so the thing is, I could have just sent him out the correct pair and not done anything. But if he didn't get those within the 3 days, which he wouldn't have, if I were that buyer, I would want to be able to like raise a concern before that time period was up. So what I ended up telling him was, I said, look, do me a favor and just like go and open a return, and then you can repurchase the other ones if you still want them. I said, I'm not going to make you return the first ones. This is not your fault. And then he wasn't responding to that. Probably he was just reading it or figuring it out or whatever. But then I noted that I could go in and just refund the sale myself. So I did that. I just went in and refunded it. And I told him, don't return anything to me. And I relisted the pair that he actually purchased. When he purchased them, he had purchased them through an offer. So I had them listed for 49. I offered 39 and he bought them that way. So when I relisted them, I said, I'm just going to relist them at the offer price for you. And he, at that point, he said, no, no, he's like, put them at the full price because I feel bad now that you're like, letting me keep these other ones. I was like, seriously, please do not feel bad. This is my fault. It's embarrassing. It's my first sale on this site. Like, you trusted me as a new seller. I appreciate it. Just keep it. So he purchased those. He has received them. He did leave me a great rating and was very nice. So I was appreciative of that. That was a really nice experience. So it was embarrassing for me, mortifying, but the buyer was so nice about it. So I really appreciated that. My next sale is on eBay. So this is interesting. This kind of stuff I don't normally do. These are old Bath and Body Works white ginger and amber scent. It's a body splash and a body lotion, as you can see. I have friends who do this kind of stuff, and some of these like discontinued products sell for a lot of money because people still like them and look for them and want them. It's just not a thing I normally do, but a friend of mine was cleaning out her attic and somebody had given these to her as a Christmas gift, and she like literally never even opened the package. So I had this. So I listed them. I had them listed for 79. I received an offer for 62, which I accepted, and so they sold for $62 plus shipping. So that was nice. Next, I have another pair of panties on eBay. These actually sold on eBay once, but the buyer almost immediately canceled and said that they purchased them by accident. So it's fine. I had them listed for 39. I don't remember if the buyer sent me an offer or if I sent out some kind of offer, but there was an offer and it was $27. So that's what they sold for plus shipping. Next up, we're going to Etsy for more of these stupid barrettes. So this buyer bought 2 pairs of these, so $20 total. They did not have any kind of coupon at all. Shipping was $4.51. And so I made $15.49 on these. So it's crazy because one pair, granted they used a coupon, but I made $3.75, but 2 pair makes it so much more worth it because I'm only paying that shipping fee once. The shipping fee is a big chunk of it, $4.51. So that was nice because they bought 2 pair. All right, next, I only have 2 more sales to go. Next is eBay. Why are these not lining up? This other pair of the vintage Victoria's Secret Y2K second skin satin thong underwear, V-string underwear. These, I listed them at 59. I listed them a little bit lower. I had a pair a week or so ago that I sold for 79. These I listed for 59 because they had like a little rubbed spot, like a spot where the satin was kind of, it wasn't, pilling is not the right word for it. It's just like a little snagged kind of. So I just listed it at 59 and that's what they sold for. So that was nice. Buyer paid the shipping on that. And then my final sale was on Depop. Depop making a show. I sold this dress. I listed it for $59 and I think the buyer sent me an offer of $47, which I accepted. I do free shipping on Depop. The shipping was $4.57. So I made $42.43 on this dress. So, and I've had this dress for a while. This used to be listed only on Depop. Then for a while I had put it up on Whatnot in the marketplace, but nobody pays attention to anything there, apparently, for me at least. And now it's been cross-posted. I feel like I cross-posted it a while ago, and then I actually recently did like a delist and relist or something. Anyway, it finally sold, so that was nice. It's a cute dress. I like that. But that's it. Those are my sales for the week. So not a bad week. I was excited about that. I did pretty well. And even without having a Whatnot show, I feel like, things kind of worked out nicely this week for that. So hopefully I will be able to continue this trend for a little while, but I hope that you found this interesting and or informative. And wait till you see my Monday video because I have a really good surprise haul for you for Monday. So I hope you tune in for that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. And I don't have my thing pulled up to be able to stop this video, but thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.